Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to learn the lesson The Noble Bishop, written by Victor Hugo. It is a small play which narrates the friendliness and kindness of a bishop which made to change a convict into an honest man. Now let us read the play The Noble Bishop and appreciate the characters and the values. The table is laid for dinner. Silver plates are set on the table. The bishop is seated for dinner and his sister Baptistan is ready to serve. When they were ready for the dinner, suddenly a convict enters their home. Convict means a person imprisoned for a crime. A convict enters the room and introduced himself that he is John Wilson. What was the name of the convict? John Wilson. He was imprisoned for 19 years. For how many years he was imprisoned, children? He was imprisoned for 19 years. He has walked for miles. He has not eaten anything for 3 days. He asked for the food in every hotels, but nobody was ready to give him the food. All that he was told was to get out. Because of that, he was very hungry. He was starving. So he will request Bishop and his sister to give him some food. Bishop told his sister to put another plate and serve him the food. And also he told her to arrange a bed for him. Sister carried out the order with fear. Bishop treated a convict as a friend. He called him as friend. When he was addressed as friend, convict reminded Bishop that he was a convict. Everybody used to tell him, "Get out, dog." But Bishop called him as friend, addressed him as friend. By listening to this, he feels very happy. He thinks that Bishop must be a great soul and he thanks him. Bishop asks his sister to bring the silver candlesticks and light them. Then she serves them soup, cheese, mutton, and a large loaf of bread. The convict eat up everything greedily. Bishop told convict that he must have suffered a lot. When Bishop told a convict like that, he starts explaining his story to the bishop. John Wilson will tell that he was a man, but now he is not a man. He had lived in the hell for 19 years. Bishop asked convict what made him to live in the galleys. He will ask why he was imprisoned for 19 years. Convict told his story. He lived with his sister and her children. Once, John Wilson lived with his sister and her 7 children. She was ill. They had no food. He could not get work. The children were starving. So he stole some breads. As he stole the bread, he was sentenced for 19 years in the galley. Because of that reason, he was imprisoned for 19 years. Then his stay in the hell began. He was treated very badly in the prison. He was chained like a wild animal. They lashed him like a hound. That means they treated him like a dog. He was fed on filth. That means he was given a dirty food for 19 years. They took away his name. They took away his soul, and they gave him a devil in that place. So he tells that he was a man once and a beast now. By listening to the story of a convict, Bishop instills hope in him and asks him to take rest as he was tired. John Wilson was so exhausted that he fell asleep immediately. He woke up in the middle of the night. He remembered his 19 years of imprisonment for stealing bread. As he was very tired, he went into a deep sleep very quickly. In the middle of the night, he woke up. What awoke him was the bed. For 19 years, he used to sleep on the floor. He did not have any bed to sleep. When he got a bed to sleep, he could not sleep properly. He remembered his 19 years of imprisonment when he woke up. He tried to escape many times. Each time he was caught and the court increased his punishment. Once he was set free, he asked for work. But no one was ready to give him work and food. Suddenly, a thought comes to his mind. What is that thought? He thought about the silverware that was laid on the table for dinner. He thought to steal the silverware that was kept on the table. He saw that Bishop was sleeping. Suddenly, John Wilson went past to the cupboard and took the silverware and jumped out of the window and ran away. What he will do? He will take that silverware and he will run away from Bishop's house. In the morning, Baptistine told Bishop that silver was stolen. Bishop was very sad and told that he had withheld the silver wrongfully for a long time. He thought that it might have belonged to the poor. At this time, there was a knock at the door. A servant and 4 policemen with the convict entered the room. The policeman tells Bishop that they had caught a convict. Even though Bishop knew the truth that the silverware was stolen by him, he doesn't get angry on him. Instead, he will address the convict as friend. By listening to the words of Bishop, the police were puzzled. He tells that he had given silverware to the convict who spent the night there. By listening to the words of the bishop, John Wilson looks at him with an expression that no words could describe. John Wilson was stunned for a while. So the police released the convict and leave him to go. Bishop gives convict the silver and candlesticks and asked him to go in peace. He asked him to come again. He tells that he can come in and go out by the front door. The doors of his house are always open to him day and night. Bishop asked convict to promise him that he should use the silver to become an honest man. Convict sobs and promised to become a man again and not a wild beast. John Wilson led the life of an honest man, remembering the words of Bishop. He strove for the cause of oppressed, downtrodden, and destitute. Years rolled by, and John Wilson led the life of an honest man, remembering the words of Bishop. He had sold all the silverware except the candlesticks. He kept them with him all his life in memory of the good Bishop. He strove for the cause of the oppressed, downtrodden, and the destitute. That means he worked for the betterment of people without food, money, and shelter. This is all about the lesson, The Noble Bishop. Now, here comes your assignment. What you have to do is read the lesson properly and try to answer all these questions. I hope this class was beneficial for you. Meet you all in the next class. Thank you.